everybody, and welcome to your Wednesday night motorsport for round 10 of the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. And we are coming to you live from Motegi, Japan, at a track that Honda built back in 1997 to try and bring some open wheel racing to the country of Japan. And that is the Twin Ring Motegi circuit. For you, ladies and gentlemen, we're here live for the Nationwide Technology Systems Twin Ring 160. Matt Davis, Dean Reddit joining you tonight in the booth to bring you all the action-packed racing that you guys are about to witness tonight. We saw an absolutely stellar race last night and a few good strategies play out in the Super Series. And Dylan Rudd managed to pip the timing tables again for God knows how many weeks in a row that man has been on a streak for. And he took home first position tonight. Who's going to take home first position tonight, though, in the Super Series? We're going to have to find out at the moment. The drivers are out there in qualifying, getting some lap time. Simon Ballard pipping the top of the timing board at the moment. Just going by the start-finish line there with a 1:19.69. And Dean, I'll bring you in, mate. Good evening to you and Simon Vella, already on a flying start for the Wednesday night motorsport.
Evening, Matty. Evening, everyone that's tuned in to watch this one tonight. Yeah, mate, he's on the money again, Simon. So, but really, really good seeing Justin Pennyfather right there next to him. So, yeah, it's all to play for. There's it's a new track for us. It's not one that we visit regularly. It's a different layout. It's a tricky layout, and it's a night race. So, a few spanners to throw at these drivers tonight, Matty.
There is definitely a few spanners to throw. Jamie Davis, another talking books as well, Dean. Currently sitting in 8th position at the moment. Those qualifying wobbles, let's put it that way, has caught up with JD tonight, and hopefully he's only got a minute 30 to put in another lap time. But we'll try and get through the itty-gritty business and bring up some track notes, the championship points for you, and try and rattle off a hot lap for you as well, ladies and gentlemen. We started a little bit late tonight. We apologise for that. But we'll get all the business done and dusted, and gets us a little bit more talking about the race. So we'll bring up some track notes for you, ladies and gentlemen, find out what's happening tonight in Japan, and 3.4 kilometres in length, 48 laps the drivers are going to be facing tonight. The total of 163.2 kilometres in race distance, 64 kilometres an hour on pit lane, so that's one to watch out for. Those drivers are definitely going to be able to use the pit limiter tonight. 55 litres on board. 2 pit stops, 2.95 litres of fuel burn a lap. Should be seeing drivers come in around the lap. The critical markers lap 18. Watch them come in from as early as lap 10. 2 sets of tyres limit, and 3 sets of tyres, sorry, my apologies. As I just get notified, we've had a little bit of a miswriting there on the track notes. 25th of August 2021, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. 7:35 p.m. race start in Japan, and they're about an hour behind us. So that is going to be a few minutes ahead of us, but we are starting for the first time in the nation, or should I say the RSRA, at the same time as the broadcast. So how about that, ladies and gentlemen? What a fantastic night race it's going to be. 26 degrees out in the air tonight, and 27 out on track. So the driver's going to be feeling that grip really well through those supercars. Northwesterly wind direction of 16 kilometres an hour, and we'll go straight into the championship points as well, JP. We'll get those ones up, get those out of the way with as the drivers wrap up qualifying. And look at that, lo and behold, Jamie Davis still sitting comfortably, but not by much now. Robbie Bradbury are closing up that gap a little bit more. He's only down to 60 points abreast of JD there in first position. Simon Vella with 1,205, Mark Turner, Adam Moore, Cole Zink, Tony Gaffer, Stephen Martin, Jonathan Bain, Scotty Barton rounding out your top 10 there, ladies and gentlemen, with 1,062. Then we go back to David Nash, Alex Schuler, Justin Pennefather, Bruce Tannick, who will be missing tonight due to a race ban. He's in race control, so he'll be helping those guys out tonight. Nathan Clive, Daniel Schultz, Ted Miller, Benny Siren, Tim Mulford, Hayden Smith. Then we'll get back to what it's like missing around and how critical that is to the championship points as well. Brian Good, Troy Allen, Stephen Banks, Stephen Lawrence, Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson, Will Yesberg, Jason Schuler, Blair Van Ree, and Peter Kelly rounding out your top 30 there. And then you've got the last 10 drivers there on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Kelly, Anthony Bisma, Scott Short, Craig Casper, Gary Crittenden, Craig Gurry, Darren Robb, John Nikolaev, Robert Braw, and David Leslie. And Dean, how important is it to try and get every race in this season? I mean, there is no drop round, so one race could mean the difference between first and second in the championship.
It can mean a lot, and this is a series that rewards consistency. And a point to note, especially to anyone that might be looking at coming in next season, it challenges you on two fronts, both your pace on the track and also your interpretation of the rules. So if you can get both right, or the driver that gets both assets right, you will see them do well in the championship. But if one just concentrates on one lap pace over the rules, then they can suffer quite badly.
Well, that's the difference between the championship there, ladies and gentlemen. And safety car about to come out on track, and I believe Craig Schultz is our safety car driver tonight, and he'll be bringing that Porsche out on track. And what better time to find out how to tackle the Twin Ring Motegi than by JP taking us on a hot lap. And it's going to be a little bit of a different view as well, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a little bit darker and a few more shadows casted upon the track. So JP, mate, will get you out on track for a flying hot lap to show us around the Twin Ring Motegi.
All right, here we are at the Twin Ring Motegi in the 888 Goodyear Auto Care Warana ZB Holden Commodore. So the key to this lap is getting a really good exit off that last turn. Get on the throttle nice and quick. Start shooting up through the gears there. Now you got to make sure not to bounce off the rev limiter. All the way into 6th gear. Now hard on the brake, shifting down, 2nd gear, trail the brake, turn in, take a bit of curve there, on the throttle nice and early. We turn in early again, take some more curve. Now we're zigzagging through here, taking a bit of curve on each side as we're going, balancing the car on the throttle, just being patient, just waiting to get onto full throttle now, maxing the car out as hard as we can, onto the next corner. Hard on the brakes at the 100 metre yard mark. Now we're trailing the brakes as we turn in. Flat on the throttle again. Now this section of the track I really enjoy. You can actually take this section flat through here. The car goes wide, straighten the car, bring it back down again. As soon as you get that ripple strip on the brakes, now we start to balance the car on the throttle going through this next section here. Shifting up through the gears. Now flat. 3rd gear. On the brakes, down into the 2nd. Trail the brake turning in. Early turn in. Get on the power nice and early. Now we're through the gears. Next turn, just as we come up the ripple strip, on the brakes again. Shifting down into 1st gear. Let the car glide around this corner here. Short shift to 2nd. Open the steering up on the throttle nice and hard. And that is a hot lap of the Twin Ring Motegi East circuit.
JP, we appreciate that, mate, for taking some time out of the night to take us for a flying lap around Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. And what a track it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, you raced here last night, mate, and not a bad little race you had there down in the middle, towards the end of the night, I should say. Brake bias around here is a big one. It's, if viewers from last night, wherever you're watching from, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, would have noticed the brake glow coming from these cars. We noticed coming down into turns 1, 2, or 1s, 2, and 4, and especially turns 11 as well. All 4 rotors were glowing hot, but in the slower corners, turn 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the rotors weren't as hot at the front, but they were glowing red hot on the rear. How much rear bias were you guys actually running?
Look, we were running a little bit rearward. It was something where if you roll the bias forward, you could get a 1 lap advantage. But it's not something you wanted to do for too long, because it just, with the downhill braking sessions, your tires just worn too quickly on the front. So you might have bumped them forward to try and do an overtaking maneuver. Unfortunately, I got overtaken a lot, so I never really got that chance to do that last night. I had nightmares over last night's race. So yeah, it is effective here, but like I said, you want to manage that rearward a lot just to keep those fronts in good condition.
And obviously track temp tonight as well, mate. It's down for the drivers. It's only at 27 degrees. What's that going to play on tyre life?
at 27 degrees, that's still a little bit high. So that is going to have an effect. It is a track that is really savage on your front tires, even with some management. So you're gonna see drivers really start to struggle to keep the car on the apex in the last turn and into the turn one. So watch that as the race goes on.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not too far away at the moment. I believe it's only about 30 seconds to go before. Well, there we go. I just got the countdown time from JP. Then 30 seconds to count, about 27 now. And we're going to be seeing the drivers gridding up. Drivers to look out for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We got last week's round winner, Mark Turner, for the Super Sprints, and also race 1 and race 2 winner, Simon Vella and Jamie Davis. And we're about to get these drivers out on the grid now. Craig Schultz flying around with a 121.93 and definitely wringing the neck out of that Porsche GT. Simshed broadcasting safety car for you, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, he doesn't have to get out in it tonight. We didn't see one last night, and hopefully that luck can come over tonight. But commentator's curse, you never know what's going to happen. But there goes the server change. Now we're in race mode. Watch for the drivers start gridding up. There they are, and it is time to bring up your starting grid for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find where everyone finished in qualifying. Simon Vowell, Justin Pennyfather will lead you off the front row. Row 2 will see Mark Turner, Jamie Davis, and there we go. The three musketeers, I should say, going to be battling out all race long. Troy Allen, Scotty Barton off row 3, Tony Gaffer, Stephen Martin, row 4, Robbie Bradbury, Don Nikolaev off row 5, Jason Schooler and Stephen Banks out of row 6. Out of row 7, you'll see Benny Siren, Peter Kelly. Row 8, we'll see Jonathan Baines, Sid Miller. Row 9 sees Colesing, Adam Moore, Tim Mulford, Anthony Vismer out of 10. Tommy Foster, Daniel Schultz out of row 11. Alex Schuller, Andrew Johnson out of row 12. Row 13, we'll see. I've just completed. There we go. Craig Casper. I lost my sight there. Craig Casper and David Leslie. Row 14, we'll see Craig Gurry, Will Yesberg, and David Nash will round out the back of the field there in position 29th after suffering a blown engine. So unlucky for that man right there from the right sim racing crew. But the revs are rising through the Twin Ring Motegi, and we are underway. What a flying start by Mark Turner as they go 3 wide into turn 1. Justin Pettifather with the inside line. Simon Vella ducks onto the inside, covers off JD. Justin Pettifather with the inside line against Mark Turner. Through turn 1 they go for the first time. On the run down into 2 now. Mark Turner takes the lead away from Justin Pettifather. Can he bolt away and get a nice, healthy lead and go through 2 from 2? We'll find out in 48 laps time, ladies and gentlemen. On the run down the big, long straight. There's a lot of sideways action in the background there that I just caught out of the corner of my eye. We'll try and get a replay of that very, very shortly for you, ladies and gentlemen. But at the moment, as it sits, it's Mark Turner, Justin Pettifather, Simon Valley, top 3. Then you got JD, Troy Allen, Tony Gafford, Jason Schooler, Kyle Zink, Robbie Bradbury, Jonathan Bain, rounding out your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. And by the looks of it, everyone's finally sorted themselves out, getting the groove for this track. We haven't actually come here before in the RSRA series. So this is going to be a new one for a lot of drivers tonight. And we know there's been a lot of practice during the week for everybody as they come through to, I believe this is coming around to the final corner. Yes, it is. And they're coming to start lap 2 of 48, ladies and gentlemen. Dean, a very quiet opening lap, but what a jump off from Mark Turner off the start.
Yes, that's something we've seen before from Mark, and Simon just struggled to get away a little bit there. But you know, it was sort of done well at the front, but there's been a bit of instance at the back, and there's been about 7 cars lose position on that opening lap. So and David Nash is actually up 14 positions after 1 lap. We might have lost Matty there.
Yep. There we go. I'm back now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I had a headset malfunction, and that's unfortunately due to me being extremely crook at the moment and trying to get the coughs out of the way while Dean is talking. But we'll manage to get through tonight. Hopefully, incident free. And lap 2 of 48, ladies and gentlemen, as they come under the Bridgestone Bridge. And how do the cars look at night? Our first night race for the season, I believe, as well. And what better place to do it than the Twin Ring Motegi in Japan? A beautifully lit track, Dean, and one that drivers, by the looks of it, are certainly starting to like.
Yeah, purpose built for this reason, I think. Really well suited to this. So it is nice to go racing at night time as well. So, yeah, just I thought they might have been slowing down there, but they're not. But yeah, it's purpose built for night racing. So it was good to take advantage of that and actually get a night race in these cars.
It's night race. It's one to be loved by a few drivers and loved by not many. Simon Fowler goes around the fastest so far, 120.59. I found night race, your depth perception is quite off as well as you're going around through a night race, because there's just the shadows that you're usually used to that are being projected by the sun aren't there. 777, stop and hold 30 seconds. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. 777 for a stop and hold for 30 seconds for car contact on the 9085. And the 777, that will be Stephen Banks. So Stephen Banks getting a stop and hold penalty. We'll try and get a replay of that incident there for you. 959 drive-through penalty for contact on the 11-lap one. So that's Benny Siren on Stephen Martin. Martin's obviously coming to get that car repaired. Goodyear Autocare will run a replay here, Dean. Talk us through this one. What's happened?
Well, there's a lot going on, I'd say, at the moment. You've got cars going 3-4 wide into turn one, just jostling position, and it gets narrow there right on the exit. So we've got Scotty Barton just getting turned around there, just tripping over one another. So a little bit of impatience there at the start of the race.
Mark Turner just goes fastest lap, 120.33, and that incident there between Scotty Barton has seen him drop 14 positions down to 20th. Biggest gainers at the moment, Dean. We've got Kyle Zink up 9, Jonathan Bain, Ed Miller inside his top 10. They're both up 6 positions. Daniel Schultz in 13th, he's up 9. David Nash up 15 positions off the race start. Biggest losers though, these ones are is a little bit sore to see. Scotty Barton down 14, John Nikolaev down 14 positions, and Benny Siren down 14 as well. Stephen Martin also down 20, Stephen Banks down 17. So a couple guys that we know have got some pace in are seeing themselves with a pretty poor start so far.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It is difficult to come back through the field, but the good thing about tonight is there's a wide window of strategies to complete your 2 pit stops under. There's a big variance in fuel. You can go early and essentially try and undercut a lot of those positions that you lost there early in the race and try and get back up the field. So, keep an eye on those guys down the back. They might dive in early.
Simon Bell over the back of Justin Pettifather at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And back to those pit strategies very, very quickly. There is many, many options to do. You can split it right down the middle if you like, ladies and gentlemen. Go 16, 16, 16. Or you could do I believe what a few drivers did last night was a 18, 18, and I think it was, I can't remember if it was 12 or something laps as well, 14 laps or something. It just all depends on what the drivers feel comfortable with and how those tyres are going to be reacting tonight. And we know they've got 3 sets of tyres available. So even though they get done during field, do they choose to take them or do they not take them? That's the question. They'd be pretty silly not to take them though, wouldn't they, dude?
Yeah, they would be. It's quite savage on your tyres. And just going back on what you were saying before about looking at the brakes lighting up there, you can see Simon's rears are really red hot, so coming in. So he's running a really rearward bias there, which is he's trying to preserve his front. So, just keep an eye on him. He's quite happy there. He knows that if he can manage his tyres, that potentially these 2 in front of him are going to come back to him. So he's not pushing overly over the top, but having JD there in his rear vision mirror, I'm sure he's got one eye on that and not wanting to allow him to get too close.
I was just about to mention that as well. You've got JD all over the rear view mirror, and then Troy Allen all over the rear of JD as well. So Simon Bell's going to be careful here. Does he allow Troy Allen and JD to fight it out behind him and hopefully gain some ground on him while those 2 fighting? Or are these guys going to follow each other and try and chase down Mark Turner, who's currently out to a 1.75 second lead over this charging pack of 4 cars? And that's just Pentecost, Simon Bell, Troy Allen, Jamie Davis, and then Tony Gafford not too far down the road. He's just about to come into that. And Jamie Davis actually makes a little bit of a mistake. Troy Allen gets past JD, and JD drops off the back of Troy Allen. There is now 1.8 seconds away, and that might have been a big mistake by Jamie Davis. We'll try and see what happens here. On board at the moment with Troy Allen. This will give us an insight to what happens to JD here, ladies and gentlemen. Does Troy Allen have a bit of a look? No.
Slow down by the looks of it.
Slow down by Jamie Davis by the looks of it, ladies and gentlemen. That's actually, Dean, the first one I've actually seen around this circuit.
Yeah, possibly picked up in the first part of that little chicane complex, where if you just hang too much of a tyre over the curb there on the first right-hand turn, you will pick up a slowdown, and they're about 1.8 seconds, so it's quite costly.
And how about that? We just missed the overtake from Simon Vella and Justin Pennefather. Troy Allen now having a look up the inside of Pennefather as well into turn one. Can he get it done? Clear as day. Beautiful move by Troy Allen. Textbook as textbook could be. Simon Vella, Troy Allen moves through on Justin Pennefather to chase down Mark Turner. Mark Turner's currently out to a 2-second lead. Goodyear Auto Care will run a replay for you here, ladies and gentlemen, of this spectacular overtaking move by Simon Vella around the outside, mind you, the final corner. Justin Pennefather tried to have a dive, just got on the grass a little bit, couldn't get the traction down, got a very bad run off the final corner down the main straight. That invited Troy Allen into the mix, into the slipstream, and Troy Allen went by like he was standing still into the corner under brakes. And that now sees a nice change for the podium there in positions 1, 2, 3. Currently Turner, Vella, and Allen. Dean?
Yes, mate. One thing I noted as well with this track last night, it's very easy when you get put on the wrong racing line to not just lose one position. You can lose 3 or 4 in the same manoeuvre because you're just so compromised on your exit speed. So, you know, we've seen a lot of good defensive driving last night late in the race, and, you know, some guys here might have watched that and they might start executing more defensive driving, more defensive lines earlier in the race. So, because it can be costly. You can lose 3 positions in one turn.
Very easy track to defend around here, but it's also very difficult at the same time. You've got a lot of long straights. So we see a car off the side of the track there, just limping along. I don't know exactly who that was, ladies and gentlemen, but someone's in a little bit of trouble at the moment. And very easy to defend, but very hard to not to defend as well, isn't it? You've got the big long straights that promote the drivers into the slipstream, and you've really got to dive down on that dirty side, the dirty line of the track, the very inside of the track, to protect the inside of that corner so they can't make a move on you. Yeah,
effectively, by going defensive here, you're compromising the car behind, and you're trying to slow them down, and all that does is drag you back to the chasing pack, because you hemorrhage a lot of time for both cars. So yeah, last night I actually got lapped by the leaders, and I was stuck behind them, even though they should have been driving well down the track, but it's because they were just battling so hard. So that's an idea of the pace difference when 2 cars are battling around this track. Potentially lead to probably 2 seconds worth of lap time. So it can be costly, especially with cars this early in the race running so close together.
Well, and at the moment we're seeing Simon Vella slowly picking the time away to Mark Turner. He's only 1.5 seconds away now, and he's not got a nice gap to Troy Allen behind him of 1.8 seconds. So Simon Vella on a mission here, ladies and gentlemen, in the Century Motorsports entry here. KFC written down all along the side of it. Makes me hungry every time I see it. But back to what you were saying then, the more you compromise that driver of getting past you, the more the battle pack does catch up. But then that battle pack will want to battle that driver behind you. That's sort of something you're preying on. Yeah, well, sometimes you might see the third car in the train actually get both cars because of the way the 2 at the front are battling. So yeah, that does happen here a bit. It happened last night. So you know, it's an interesting. It's one of those things you need to weigh up with as the lead car. Do I try and battle this for 2 laps, or do I just perhaps let this guy go who's looking pretty racy? We saw big long battles through and through the field last night, ladies and gentlemen. One of them went on for 10 laps, right up until the finish line. And that was a battle for the ages to go down in history for the RSRA, and hopefully we get to see another couple good ones tonight. A few drivers banging up here. You've got Cole Zink, Jonathan Bainstead, Miller battling out here with Jason Schuler. And this is for 7th, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th here, ladies and gentlemen. So this is for 7th position right now between these drivers. Oh, big moment there by Kyle Zink. Rocked the rear brakes coming into one. Catches the big slide. Manages to recover by only losing one position out to Jonathan Bain, the Middle Finger Racing crew. But that's allowed Jason Schooler to just skip away that little bit and give him a little bit more breathing room. What a save there, Dean, by Kyle Zink. Oh, I thought he was going to lose that completely.
Yeah, it's easy to pinch the rears and get turned around onto that inside wall. It doesn't take a lot, and it can happen so slowly where the car just sort of slides and drifts and then eventually goes round. And then that creates a bit of a cork in the bottle for the cars behind as well. But held onto that and managed to keep going without costing himself too much time.
That's also that's also one of the very high risks of running so much rear bias as well, ladies and gentlemen. That you can see there how much the Troy Owen is running rear bias there. Those brakes were going red hot as Jamie Davis finally catches back up to Troy Owen here. Jamie Davis is going to try and make a move here into turn one. He's a little bit too far away at the moment. Might just be preserving a little bit. Watch for drivers starting to pit around now as well. Lap 11 of 48, ladies and gentlemen. And the crucial lap number is lap 18. And that's with a little bit of fuel saving in the tank as well. So watch out for drivers from here on going into the pits. We'll keep you up to date of who's pitting, who's not. And obviously David Nash has already got one next to his name, but he started from pit lane. So it's something we have to keep in our memory bank as well. But this fight between JD and Alan starting to slowly heat up. Troy Allen getting a little bit wiggly, JD getting a little bit wiggly, and that's Sted Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Sted Miller on Kyle Zink. That was into turn one. Kyle Zink not having a good run so far. He's lost the rear, lost the spot to Jonathan Bain, and now he's going to look up at the inside. Sted Miller doesn't choose to do so. Slots back in behind. What a cool looking scheme that is on the side of that Ford Mustang by Sted Miller. Kyle Zink though chose to go to the over and under, try the over and under to get the run out of the hairpin there. Sted Miller goes hard on the defense, dirty line of the track there. You can see all the dirt and dust getting picked up from Sted Miller there, ladies and gentlemen, as they make the run onto the main straight. Stay with this battle here. Can Kyle Zink get a good run? Can he get up the inside of turn one? He pokes the nose out, drives on the brakes nice and late, throws it up the inside, runs a little bit too much brake again, adds a bit of a squirm, and has to pull out for that. There's a battle for 8th position there, ladies and gentlemen. Bain, Miller, Zink, and Bradbury not too far behind now. Jamie Davis still over the back of Troy Allen. Simon Vella, though, ladies and gentlemen, all over the back of Mark Turner. Dean, Simon Vella is really on a man on a mission.
And this goes back to what I was mentioning before when, he just dropped those couple of spots off the start line. But we've seen it from Simon before. He just doesn't panic, and he knows. We've seen with Kyle there, that brief pinch of the brakes, that was 2 laps of him trying to settle the tyres down as to why he lost those positions, because it's so easy to overheat them. And I think Simon summed that up at the race start. He just thought, I can't push, I can't fry my fronts trying to get those 2 positions back. I'm just going to drive and preserve the tyres, and it'll come back to me later in the season. It's exactly what we're seeing here now.
Coming up to almost the first pit stop for these drivers. They've only got another 3 laps to go. Lap 13 of 48, ladies and gentlemen. All 4 brakes. Brake road is glowing on Mark Turner's Mustang now. It's Mustang v Mustang at the moment. I think it's Mustang v Mustang nearly throughout the whole entire top 10 as well, Dean. It's a Mustang dominant field at the moment.
It is, and these two are enjoying a good little battle that's gone just about all season long, bar the first couple of rounds. So, they're starting to get used to each other on track now. So, Mark Turner would be, I think, in there going, it's about time I got out in front of you and kept you behind. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes. He's been someone that's just improved out of sight this season, and the sky's the limit for him going into next season. But I'm sure he wants to get one over Simon Vella really badly.
Right. That's I guess that's one of the good things as well about watching the drivers throughout the seasons. You really get to see them gel with one another as well, ladies and gentlemen. and see how they attack one another out on track. They become comfortable with one another. They know what the drivers are going to do. They know what their reactions are going to be. And everyone can have a safe, clean battle. And that's what we're seeing right here between Turner and Vella right now. And you can also see it between Allen and Davis just behind them as well. And then further down the field, you've got Jason School and Jonathan Bain. They're battling it out there for 7th position. Then you got Peter Kelly, Cole Zink, taking that Cole Zink into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. And, you see it between Sed Miller and Robbie Bradbury. Those guys in for the minor spots. There's a car off in the infield there. One of the right sim racing boys almost gets in the way of the leaders there.
That was Craig Gurry, I believe.
That was Craig Gurry. Craig Gurry getting in the way of the leaders there. Lucky to escape that one. And that's promoted Simon Vella right onto the back bumper of Mark Turner now. He backs out just a little bit as they come through the hairpin. Runs it up the inside. Mark Turner runs a little bit wide as they come over the Bridgestone Bridge.
Starting to heat up now. That's just compromised Mark's run there a little bit and put Simon right on the back bumper, but he managed to hold it around the outside there despite missing the apex, so he's still got plenty of fight left in him.
These guys are going to be battling out right up to the first pit stops. Through the hairpin they come. Up to the final corner. What's going to happen with pit lanes? And that's another thing to mention as well, Dean, tonight. Pit lane, a big one to watch for. Especially when they can't cross that yellow line coming into pit lane as the 2 leaders come onto the main straight to start lap 15 of 48. And pit lane's going to be a big talking point tonight with drivers having to pay extra attention to where exactly they're placing those wheels.
Yeah, through the last turn there, you still got to complete it in the pit lane, which is you're right back down to first gear, try and hook the car around, and it's quite easy to cut that corner and pick yourself up a drive-through penalties. So, look, I think Simon right now is considering whether trying to make the pass on track is the best strategy. He might be looking at going sooner rather than later into pit lane here to try and pull the undercut.
Looking for the undercut. Look for the undercut, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Moore in the pits now. Craig Casper in the pits. Cole Zink's been the first pit stop goer of the night. So he's run the early strategy. These guys might be looking to run the long. They've only got 3 more laps to go. Troy Allen, though, slowly but surely pulling the gap away from JD. And JD makes it up and then loses out. So those two are having another battle down there for 3rd and 4th position. And obviously Jamie Davis, race 2 winner of last week. And there goes JD straight into the pits. Justin Pennefather follows through. So JD and Justin Pennefather into the pits. Mark Turner, Simon Vella still battling it out for the lead on lap 16 of 48. This is going to be a battle all night long, I believe. It's going to be one that's going to go down to pit lane. We saw Ryan Leonardo pit Dylan Rudd and on the pit lane with a shorter pit stop. Got a bit of clear track. I wonder if Simon Vella's going to do this time round. Pit that lap earlier from Mark Turner and get the undercut. Or does Mark Turner go in this lap round? We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen, as they come up to the pit lane one more time.
Yeah, covering Jamie Davis was going to be, if they stay out, they're going to invite Jamie Davis right onto the battle pack at the front here. So it's more likely we're going to see a response from one or two of both of these guys here this lap.
Look at the drive by Vella into the corner. Mark Turner dives into the pits. He's going to try and get the extra advantage over Simon Vella. But we know Vella is quick on his in-lap. So watch out for Vella. Jamie Davis, though, out on track now. Troy Allen jumps into the pits as well with Mark Turner. Jamie Davis currently in 10th position.
Good decision from Jamie. You know, we've seen him the last couple of weeks run the overcuts, a complete opposite strategy. So, yeah, with his pace, he might be backing himself here to try and get in front of Troy Allen and get back into that 3rd position.
We'll see what happens here. 588, Craig Casper drives through penalty for pit lane infringement. Troy Allen is now moving out of the pits. So he's had a little bit of a shorter pit stop, but it's a long run down the straight. There's Jamie Davis, gets around Troy Allen, and Mark Turner still in the pit. So Mark Turner loses out big time. Mark Turner, 30.17 second pit stop.
Speeding in pit lane.
Pit lane infringement, speeding in pit lane. Unfortunate for Mark Turner. That's just cost him the front of the lead of the race. Simon Vella now will obviously get word of this. He stays out for one more lap. He is going the extra long stint here, Zine. And what stint will this play? 18, 18, and 12 on the calculator right now.
You're gonna see Simon, I think, here, Matty. He's going to go right to the end of the tank, and then I think your critical lap is about 29:30 for your second pit stop. So you might see a really short middle stint from Simon to get back in there, and effectively, if he loses some time here by staying out that extra long period, he'll get it back at that second stop.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategies to go through the mind, and then you've got to run the long stint on the older tyres where someone could come in for that short stint to the end, make it up. So it's all about, you know, that track position, but 120.47 by Jamie Davis. His best is a 120.43. Simon Vella last time round, 120.8. So Jamie Davis currently the quickest driver in the top 10. Justin Pennefather just behind them with a 120.98. And he's the top 4 at the moment. Gaffer, there we go. Simon Vella pulls into the pits. Tony Gafford, Jason Sculip, Robbie Bradbury still yet to pit as well. Got to be careful on the pit lane entry, Simon Vella. Try not to cop an infringement. Anthony Visma pops out of his box. Jamie Davis now. Vella's just jumped in the box now. He's slowly ticking away on the seconds. JD though, on the run down the back straight to the front. 16, 17, 18 seconds for Simon Vella in the pit box. 20, 21, 22. Simon Vella is moving out of the pit box. Where's this going to put Davis? Davis is going to come around Simon Vella. And Jamie Davis, fastest lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen, 120.3 seconds. And Troy Allen almost gets Simon Vella on the first corner as well. Big mistake by Simon Vella on the in lap for that one.
Yeah, staying out there. It's interesting tonight. The guys have got 2 sets of new tyres to take at the pit stop. So having, I guess, what I was talking about before, where just having the 1 set of new tyres, the strategy that Simon just deployed might work well in that scenario. But the fact that Jamie was able to take fresh tyres and run for 4 laps on those tyres, seen the huge time difference, and then he's going to get that again in the next stop as well to try and hold position. So yeah, interesting how that one played out. But now, unfortunately for Mark Turner, we lost him from the lead of the race, but now we get that battle back with these 3 cars.
It's going to be a close one to watch. Jamie Davis's tyres will obviously wear away quicker than what Simon Vella's usually do, but we know JD is a hard defender, and at the moment we are currently watching, I believe it's Simon Vella and Troy Allen.
Troy Allen, you know, he's having a good race tonight. He's one that's qualified quite well, but we haven't had a chance to really see him. But, you know, he's a driver that's got some pace. He's got some single lap pace. So it's nice to see him putting it together over a long distance tonight.
Don't talk too soon, mate. We talked soon last night about Benny Morris, and look what happened to him. He got the drive-through penalty, unfortunately. So commentator's curse. So hopefully it doesn't come across Troy Allen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But nevertheless, Troy Allen is having a spectacular race. He's just losing out to Simon Vella now. Simon Vella has got the temp into the tyres and he's putting the foot down. Chasing down Jamie Davis, and he's slowly taking out 100th of a second as each second goes by. And Jamie Davis is starting to feel the effects of those tyres starting to wear away as he clicks over lap 20 of 48. going to be starting lap 21 of 48. And what better time to go for a flying crank up the volume lap with our current leader, Jamie Davis, from the Auto Serve entry, ladies and gentlemen, as they come through the final corner. Go with Simon Vella, actually. We'll go with Simon Vella. We had Jamie Davis last week. We'll go with Simon Vella from the Century Motorsport team and watch the man at work chasing down Jamie Davis. Cars get the move done. now as Dave, JD, and Alan keep battling out, now stretched out to 3 seconds. But we're looking at the moment, Kyle Zink, your current leader of this battle pack, in 8th position. Then it goes back to Jason Schooler, Robbie Bradbury, Stead Miller, and also Peter Kelly from the Middle Finger Racing Boys. And Robbie Bradbury up the inside of Stead Miller gets the move done nice and clear, but Stead Miller's going to have the inside. I know he's got the outside. He's going to have to run in behind Robbie Bradbury here. And have a look elsewhere. Can he run around the outside and throw it up the inside of the next corner? Has a look up the inside. Has a little bit of a nudge of Robbie Bradbury. Runs the car a little bit wide. He's going to have to let this one go. But Peter Kelly finds himself around Robbie Bradbury. That's a bit of a bump and run. Race control won't see too lightly on that one, Dean.
Yeah, it's just a bit of rubber on the back bumper. It's not doesn't take a lot of contact to unsettle a car on this track. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see how what the verdict is on that one. So I know Robbie probably won't feel like he's been looked after there, but yeah, there's two the simultaneous rear locks.
No, Kyle Zink with another big slide.
Yeah, that's we've got to get these tyres through to the next pit stop. That turn one going all the way back to the start of the race, that turn one can catch you out so quickly now with the front tyres and the rear brake bias being so dominant there at the moment. So it's catching a lot of drivers out.
And Simon Vella checked out so far while we've been watching this battle pack, ladies and gentlemen, between Stead Miller and Kyle Zink. Peter Kelly now getting into the mix of this as well. Jason Schooler just in front of these guys. Robbie Bradbury, though, dropped off the battle pack here. He's not too far behind, though. He's only just under a second away. But Kyle Zink, 2 big slides on each stint, so he's got to really dial in that brake bias. Stead Miller's around Kyle Zink. Kyle Zink still putting the pressure on Stead Miller, though. Peter Kelly in the mix as well. He's waiting for a big incident to happen. He was rubbing his hands as he was driving along. He thought he had the position over Kyle Zink when he had that big slide. Through the final corner they come. And this Tony Gaffer getting the position taken away from him by David Nash. And what a drive this man has had so far. Up 24 positions, ladies and gentlemen. He sees himself inside the top 5 now. And Tony Gaffer sees the best race he's had so far. He's in 6th position. He's up 1 from where he started. Car 24, the 024. For a bump and run on the 35. We know which number the 024 is, ladies and gentlemen, because we're literally just talking about that moments ago.
Yeah, we were on board with him then when the bump and run occurred. So we thought maybe he should have redressed, but you know it's tight racing, so he backed himself that he didn't do anything too wrong there. But yeah, he's going to have to go for a tour through pit lane. David Nash, he's been relatively quiet. We haven't seen much of him tonight, but yeah, up 24 spots. So starting from pit lane, so that's a huge effort from him.
Big effort by David Nash. Very easy to do as well. If there's a lot of battling going on, ladies and gentlemen, you can always throw it up the inside of 2-3 cars and try and get some maximum positions. And helps a little bit as well with a few incidents out on track. But Stead Miller sees himself in the pit lane now. Hugs that yellow line a little bit close.
Yeah, we seen that one, didn't we, Matty?
And that's a little bit close for that one. That's race control will be looking at that. But nevertheless, JD at the moment, he's chasing down Simon Vella, who's 2.8 seconds abreast of him. And back to Troy Owen, which is another 2.8 seconds behind him. So Jamie Davis running his own race at the moment. And John Nikolaev has gone a lap down.
Yeah, there's a lot of lap traffic starting to play a factor now. It's a circuit, Matty, where you make one mistake and quite often, you know, you follow it up with 2, 3, 4 mistakes quickly after that because the tyres just don't appreciate being locked up for any period of time here. It just compounds so easily. So a couple of these drivers now falling back into the grass of the leaders, and lap traffic looks like it's actually going to play a role in determining who may win this race.
Who may win this race? Who may win the minor positions in the top 10 or the top 20? Nevertheless, And it's there's battles going, will sort of even itself out now. As only a few battles at the moment. Cole Zing, Peter Kelly, they're battling out Scotty Barton, Timmy Mulford, they're battling out 13th, 14th. And then you've got Tommy Fawcett, Benny Siren battling it out there for 18th and 19th position. So only a couple small battle packs forming up now. Everyone's sort of spread out at the moment, Dean. We're coming up, closing in, should I say, on the next lot of pit stoppers to find themselves coming through. And we didn't see much of David Nash of his pit stop, and when he lapped in the pit stop, lap 15, I believe it was, according to my timing boards. And we just got news as well through our ear, Dean. Mark Turner, he's not a big shortcut there.
That's just going to be a slowdown.
That's
sure.
a big shortcut by Peter Kelly. That would be a big slowdown, as well as Cole Zink now makes up all that time. Hopefully Peter Kelly can clear that out. But Mark Turner, his night's gone from bad to worse to horrible to one he wants to forget. Goodyear Auto Care Run and Replay. Talk us through this one.
All right, so this might be an issue with no headlights. He's slowing. He might just be slowing to allow some faster cars through here, which does appear to be the case, matey. And look, yeah, this is one of those scenarios for Mark where things are starting to compound quickly. I had a similar issue last night, matey. A new challenge with running a race at night time is I actually lost where my pit guy was in pit lane, because the only place on this track that doesn't have lights on it is pit lane. So I couldn't find out where he was.
That's one that I actually never thought of as well, dude. It's a bit late. You'd think they'd have lights at a nighttime race.
Mate, going down pit lane here, it's like a couple of tin sheds. So it was something I wasn't expecting, because I qualified down the back. It's only a short pit lane. My guy was actually where the pole sitters guy should be, and I pulled in at the back of the pits, not wanting to miss my guy, and he wasn't there. So I couldn't find him because it was dark.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's another one to really catch up on drivers, is where they are in pit lane, and that's something that we like to throw the curveball at them. It's the iRacing server throws the curveball at these drivers in regards to pit lane, and obviously with such a big field of 30+ drivers, it's finding your pit man and the invisible pit crew out on track. It's definitely a little bit hard, but at the moment we're watching this battle between I believe it is Mulford and Barton, and this is really starting to heat up now.
Yeah,
Scotty Barton all over the back of Mulford.
Yeah, Timmy. You should see how Timmy goes, because he does battle hard normally. I haven't done a lot of racing against him, but just from what I've seen out on track so far this season, and Scotty, we know he can be quite racy at times as well. So this one's going to be it could be another one that comes down to pit stops, but just looking through our timing as well, as he's just dropping back off a little bit. Tony Gaffers and John O'Bain are having a great run tonight.
Oh, nice by Scotty Barton here, team. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Timmy Mulford, he knows how to make that car wide, but he can't make it 6 cars wide to fend off the charging Scotty Barton into turn 1. But look at that, Timmy Mulford hard on the brakes, and breaks Scotty Barton into turn 1 and holds 13th position off from Scotty here. And Dean, how about that for the braking performance of Timmy Mulford?
Yeah, to ask that of the tyres at this stage of the race, that was, a confident move really by Timmy to hold it around the outside. So, yeah, that was really well done. Some good racing here between these two guys.
How about the brakes at the moment, ladies and gentlemen? You can just see him glowing red hot. And what better way to see it than of a night race in Japan at the Twin Ring Motegi. In Motegi, Japan, mind you, as well. And as Mulford and Barton start to catch up on Adam Moore here. And this is going to make it a 3-way battle now for 12th position.
Timmy's gone shallow.
Adam
Moore,
big slide. That's going to compromise Timmy Mulford and Scotty Barton. You watch Scotty Barton go really wide there in the hairpin to maximise the run on Timmy Mulford down the main straight. And unfortunately, they both had to check up due to a big slide by Adam Moore. So Adam Moore loses 2 positions. to Mulford and Barton. And this has promoted Alex Schuler now into the battle as well. Scotty Barton all over the back of Mulford. Schuler all over the back of Moore. The battle pack is livened up in the middle of the pack here, ladies and gentlemen. JD still trailing Simon Valla by 2.8 seconds. Then it's 4.4 seconds back to Troy Allen. Further 1.2 back to Justin Pennefather. Then another 9.2 back to David Nash. He just jumps into the pits to take his second pit stop. So David Nash into the pits for his second pit stop.
Yep, that's it's about that time. You know, probably could have, some drivers probably could have even gone earlier. So Robbie Bradbury's also come into the pit lane. So, you know, a guy that's got some huge championship points on the line, currently second in the championship. So he's trying to do the undercut as well. Timmy Mulford comes
into
in.
the pits. Mulford into the pits. Barton goes out for one more lap.
It's probably a good call from Timmy, just under a bit of pressure there, and gets himself some new tyres and a good chance to pull a bit of a gap there over Scotty Barton with the pit stop.
Been a mistake by Jamie Davis as well, ladies and gentlemen. He's just granted Simon Valla a 4.2 second lead. And what's Valla do on lap 32? We'll keep you up to date as when drivers are pitting. JD into the pits now, lap 32 or 48. So Valla stays out for one more lap. Troy Allen, Justin Pennefather follow JD into the pits as well. So Valla out for one more lap. Does he react? We know how much of an undercut JD got over Simon Valla. For Valla staying out for so long on those old tyres. But remember, Jamie Davis was on 4 lap older tyres than Simon Valla. So this is really going to be interesting, Dean.
Mate, absolutely. It shows how much I'm at sea this week. I would have thought for sure after the long run that Simon did earlier that he'd be the first into the pit lane for these second stops to take advantage of that short fill. He stayed out again, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I honestly don't have any idea what's going to happen from at this point in.
Well, we've seen Simon Valla tend to like the longer strategies throughout the races, and he's always run the long stint, and it's paid off for him. Sometimes it can be good if you have the pace on old tyres as well, ladies and gentlemen. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And last time round, Simon Valla went a 1:21.04. So his best is a 1:20.01. And last time round, he went a 1:21.04. He's gone around once more time. So he's not reacting to what JD and Troy Allen are doing. So what's this going to do to JD and Allen? Is this going to promote them? JD's currently stuck behind Peter Kelly. He's in a little bit of traffic. That's not going to be good for JD. He's got Steadmiller just up in front of him as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, well, we've seen JD make short work of the gap at the first pit stop opportunity. That's interesting. The gap of 4 seconds there before Jamie pitted for Simon, it's enough to probably wait one extra lap, but for 2, I'm not so sure.
Tony Gafford in the pits now. Peter Kelly just joined the pit lane as well, and it wasn't Steadmiller, it's Jason Schooler in front of JD now, and Simon Valla still out on his lap. He's coming around now. He's about halfway through lap 33 as we're on start of lap 34 of 48, ladies and gentlemen. For the NCS Twin Ring 160 on your Wednesday night motorsport. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you're tuning in from around the world, whether it be YouTube, Facebook or Twitch, across the SimShed broadcasting platforms or the Real Sim Racing Australia platforms. David Nash now around Tony Gaffer. So Nash now in 6th position, chasing down Justin Pennefather. He's 4.4 seconds abreast of Justin Pennefather there. So David Nash, a little bit of work cut out for that man just there. But Jamie Davis.
It's interesting though, because he was 9 seconds behind when he pitted early, David Nash. So that's how strong the undercut is here. So
extremely strong around Motegi.
So yeah, this leads me to believe that, you know, I think Simon stayed out again. That Jamie's going to inherit the race lead here once pit stops are completed. But
Jason Schooler dives into the pits there, Dean. So that promotes Jamie Davis back into 2nd position. And that's how fast stretched the field is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. These guys haven't lost much track time, but Jamie Davis has a lot of work cut out for him. He's taken 8/10 out of Valor at the moment so far. He had a 4-second gap when he entered the pits. 21.4-second pit stop on lap 32. What can Simon Valor do in this pit stop? When Simon Valor going to pit? That's the big question, Dean.
Well, that's it. I'm not sure how much longer he can go.
He's out for one more lap.
Yeah, this is interesting. Like, he's obviously very confident with his pace, and he's going to have a super short last stop. Taking on a small amount of fuel, but the gap's now down under 36 seconds. So keep an eye on that gap, as we're assuming that Simon's going to be in any moment now.
Well, JD's just taking another 5/10 off Simon Valor. Simon Valor now starting to put the hammer down. He's just left the 120.9, but Jamie Davis is 120.41. Don't forget as well, ladies and gentlemen, 120.9 on the last lap was on old tyres by Simon Valor. JD is on the newer set and did a 120.4. So Simon Valor's got the pace in the old set of tyres. 120.7. There we go. So only 0.2 of a second out of that lap. So 0.2 of a second. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 36-second gap back to Jamie Davis from Simon Valor. So my apologies for that one. We're not that far around the track when I jumped on board with Simon Valor. And from the Century Motorsport team, who's currently leading the race at the moment. 13 laps to go. He's coming into the pits. He thinks he's got the lead over JD. What can JD do? He's got to answer now and put the hammer down. I reckon he's just a little bit too far away, Dean.
I'm really not sure. That was obviously some really good pace from Simon there on old tyres. So, and we know Jamie gets through the tyres pretty quickly. So maybe he had a couple of good laps, and then they've just plateaued a little bit on him.
Simon Valor into the pits. What's Jamie Davis's tyres doing to him now? Jamie Davis coming through the final corner. Valor's moving. Valor is moving. Valor has got Jamie Davis out of the pits. What's the lead going to be as they come across the start-finish line? Jamie Davis hunting him down. Simon Valor slowly gets up to speed. Was 4.5 seconds, back down to 4, back. Oh, it's up to 5 seconds now. So JD has got traffic in front of him to contend with. And a lot of traffic too, Dean. And well, I mean, what a pit stop by Simon Valor.
Yeah, mate. Wow, that was well executed on old tyres. That's not easy to do at all, Matty. That, full respect to Simon there for handling that the way he did, because I thought he'd stayed out too long. I honestly did.
Justin Pedophile now up the inside of Troy Allen. This is for third position, ladies and gentlemen. This is for a step on the podium as they rub a few paddles. Justin Pedophile stopped the inside of Troy Allen. Doesn't get the move done, sealed and done. He's going to have to try next lap round. 12 laps to go.
This will be interesting, Matt. We've got the slower car in front as well. These battled for a little while. This could be a four-way battle for third, with David Nash 3 seconds behind, and Tony Gaffler just having a great run tonight. Has not let David Nash go at all. So, we know that Tony can battle with anyone. So this could be really interesting very soon.
Well, Justin's having a look now. The inside doesn't get it done. He's going to try and get the run down the main straight. David Nash just behind this battle pack here, ladies and gentlemen, with only 10 laps to go. And that's enough time for David Nash to find himself battling it out for the podium. Lights and plays by David Nash there on the right-hand side of your screen as they come down the main straight. All brakes are flowing red hot as they get this late in the race. And what can David Nash do to catch up to make a podium position? Can he come back and make up 26 positions to get onto the podium? We're going to have to find out in 10 laps time where he's going to end up. 5.2 seconds back to JD from Simon Valor. Then it's a further 9.2 back to Troy Allen and Justin Pennefather, who are battling it out now for a podium position. Then you've got Nash, Gaffer, Bain, Bradbury, Schooler, and Peter Kelly rounding out your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. And Dean, it's sort of plateaued now throughout the whole entire pack, and everyone's just finding their groove to find their way home.
Yes, it's someone like David Nash is going to need these two to probably keep battling a little bit because he's on about 4 or 5 lap older tires. So, he may not have the lap pace advantage over them, but um, Justin's not done with Troy yet either. So if they battle a little bit, we can soon see 3, 4 cars here for the third place. Yeah, the lap times at the front pretty close. So I'm just super impressed with what Simon's managed to do. To be honest, I'm a little bit dumbfounded that he's managed to actually increase his gap by running 5 laps longer. So I can't wait to get him in later on and find out, how he come up with that strategy because that was out of the box.
I think the strategy actually came to him from Jamie Davis. Jamie Davis, remember, got caught up in a bit of traffic on his outlap and trying to chase down Simon Valla there when Simon Valla was on his outlap as well. So I think Jamie Davis just hurt himself a little bit, pitted on the wrong lap. He pitted on the right lap according to his fuel numbers, but just unfortunately pitted on the wrong lap, put himself out in the middle of traffic. And you know what track position is around Twin Ring Motegi, Dean, and that is all about track position around here. To get yourself some clean air, as Justin Pettifather has a look at this side. Troy Allen runs wide, all over the back bumper now. Justin Pettifather is. Troy Allen runs defensive. They're just going to have to fight it out down the main straight. It's going to be a drag race. The more these guys battle, the more David Nash comes in on it. David Nash now 1.6 seconds abreast from these two, battling it out for the podium. Dean, we could have a 3-way battle here for third position in a matter of laps.
I think we're going to get 4. I think Tony's running a great race there as well, so I'm not going to rule him out. And I just want to touch on something I said before. The 3rd or 4th car in the queue could be the one that actually takes it if the two at the front keep battling hard. So, yeah, keep an eye out on that scenario playing out here. But I think we're going to get a good finish here.
If it does, that'll be Tony Giaffa's best race of the season. And look at this, Valla and Davis, top of your leaderboards at the moment. They're trying to, Simon Valla's just cruising away to a comfortable 5.8 second lead. But last time round, dead even. Oh, Justin Pettifather, Troy Allen. Justin Pettifather has a look. He puts it on the outside through the S's. Can he get the power down around Troy Allen? Troy Allen has a little bit of a nudge. Justin Pettifather has redress. And very smooth driving there by Troy Allen to redress the position of Justin Pettifather. Oh no, Justin Pettifather cuts to the inside now. Big slide by him. He's playing the defensive line into the final corner. That's going to compromise his run onto the straight. This is promoted David Nash in. Little bit of a nudge by Troy Allen there. David Nash now in this battle. They're rubbing down the main straight as they drag down to turn 1, ladies and gentlemen. Plugging away the gears. Troy Allen on the inside of Justin Pettifather. Throws it up the inside of turn 1. And David Nash is now in the mix. The 911 is in the mix, ladies and gentlemen, for a podium position after starting from pit lane. What a drive from this man it has been. As
Yes.
Troy Allen and Justin Pettifather have just battled for too many laps. And they've got a little bit of extra company. Justin Pettifather has a look up the inside of Troy Allen now. This is going to go right to the end, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Dean, I don't think I've got the vocal cords for this.
Yeah, Justin had the move done and just lit it up a little bit at that second last corner, and that compromised his exit down the straight. So good on Troy. First of all, had the contact redressed, stayed in the battle, and got the position back legitimately a couple of corners later. So, fantastic racing from these guys.
Oh, big lock up by Troy Allen there, Dean.
Yep, just pinched the fronts, missed the apex at the front. It's so easy to do at this point in the race. So, David there sitting behind. I don't want to be too biased because I know David, but I like his positioning at the moment.
Troy Allen gets the better run out of the final corner. Justin Pettifather should have just played a little bit patient. But have a look at this. The slipstream comes into effect. Justin Pettifather has a look at the inside. Doesn't get it done under brakes. David Nash playing a little bit cautious. He's waiting for these two to come together. But he's running out of laps to do it. Look at this. Justin Pettifather Look at the splits from sector 1 to 4. We know who's fastest in what sector, but look at Justin Pennefather now all over the back of Troy Owen. Troy Owen goes defensive. Justin Pennefather going to try and go around the outside.
He's out on the dirty line there. Nash is trying to sneak through on the and follow Troy's
And
line.
Nashy up on the inside of Pennefather. Can he get it done? No. Justin Pennefather sets himself up on the inside. He's all over now the back bumper of Troy Owen. Oh, a little bit of a nudge to Troy Owen there by Pennefather. This battle is really fired up, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Nash runs wide.
Nash is locked up.
Nash has run wide with a lockup. Now that's promoting Tony Gaffer into the fight, and we have a 4-way battle for third.
It's going to be the grandstand finish. We've seen it coming, Matty. But you know, David's obviously after that little mistake. He's still not out of it. All these guys are struggling in that last sector. Those last 2-3 turns, trying to get the power down, trying to get the brake. The car stopped in time. You're seeing all of them make the same mistakes. So this is going to go. Obviously, this is going to go right to the line, and I have no idea which way this is going to go.
Pennefather got a horrible drive out of turn 1. Troy Owen ran really defensive. Pennefather had the opportunity to get a run into 2. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get the power down. Nash just watching this all unfold. And unfortunately, Nash has got a little bit of company now by Tony Gaffer, who's only just under a second behind them. Oh, a little bit of a nudge by Justin Pennefather on Troy Owen. Was that a bump and run there? We'll have to try and get a replay of that overtake, as we just missed it quite briefly. But how about this for some racing on your Wednesday night motorsport, ladies and gentlemen, for the RSRA Super 2 E-Series?
Yeah, I think that was just super tough battling. Troy went defensive there, and there was a bit of a squeeze on, but I don't think there was anything too untoward. You know, we're going to get this battle right to the line, and you know, Nash is here. He is on the older tyres, so he is relying on these guys to battle it out between themselves and maybe just pick up the scraps. He's got.
He's going to run a little bit of a nudge by Nash there, Dean, and down the main straight they go to start their lap 44 or 48. Yeah, this is really starting to heat up.
That's a really good defensive tactic. If you feel like your line's compromised coming into the last turn there, hey, you just park it on the apex, and you don't give the car behind you the run down the straight.
You get the car to give you a little bit of a head start run down the main straight, why don't you, with a little bit of a nudge. And Simon Vella at the moment, though, Dean, he's big slide by Allen. This promotes Nash now. Allen goes defensive. Nash is going to try and go around the outside. Too old of a tyres, but he goes the over-under. He's got the switch back under the Bridgestone Bridge. And Troy Owen loses out on David Nash here. And that's allowed Justin Pennefather to skip away, but Troy Owen throws it up the inside of David Nash now. Trading positions left, right, and centre, lap after lap after lap.
Tony Gaffer's in on it now too.
Amidst defeat. Tony Gaffer now getting into the mix. Can Tony Gaffer make his way up into 5th position and secure himself a top 5? I believe that'll be his first top 5 of the season as well.
It's just going... Wherever you find Tony Gaffer on track, you can guarantee John O'Bain's not far behind either. He's only a couple of seconds out of this as well.
Fair enough. There's Jonathan Bain. He's only a couple of seconds behind. Jonathan Bain could be seeing himself come up into this battle very, very shortly if this battle pack of 4 keep playing it out like it is. And at the moment, the battle is between Troy Allen and Tony Gaffer now. David Nash is still getting hounded by Allen here as they've caught back up. Justin Pennefather, though, skipped away a little. He's out to a second over Nash. So Justin Pennefather may just have 3rd position secured here. 4 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, for your Wednesday night motorsport. Round 10 for the RSRA Super 2 E-Series, the NTS Twin Ring 160. Anthony Visma on your screen there. And he's in a nice little battle there with Mulford and Stephen Martin. So Visma all over the back of Martin, and Visma is going to be seeing himself finish another race. He's had a bit of bad luck this season, old Anthony Visma, Dean, with a few DNFs and one unfortunate one down in Alton Park where he got caught up on the fence. But Allen's lost out of position on Gaffer. Can we get a replay? Dean, talk us through a good Goodyear camera on a replay.
I think this was in the last sector, was it? Coming down into... Oh, no, Troy Allen's lost the rears there. And, yeah, I think Tony's just lost through. Yeah. So, Troy's having another, he's probably still felt like he could have a good move on David.
That's good news for Tony Gaffer, though. He's in the top 5. I believe that's his highest finishing position of the season. And now all eyes on Nash and Penafar. Can Nash get himself a podium position after starting from pit lane? That will be drive of the night. Simon Vellis checked out from the race over JD. 9.2 seconds between the two. And then it's 14.4 seconds back to this battle pack right here for the last step of the podium. Lap 47 of 48, ladies and gentlemen, as Simon Vella starts a fresh lap. David Nash, can he get the run out of the final corner? Takes it a little bit wider. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Runs wide, compromises the time middle apex, but gets the better run over Justin Pennefather. Gets into the slipstream. How much more speed can Nash take into turn 1? He's not quite close enough to get it into turn 1. He's going to have to try the over and under.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as an option for him, just being on the slightly older tyres. Just trying to get Justin to go into the defensive mode there and go to that shallow line into the last corner is one of his better opportunities for setting the move up down into the first corner.
Well, we've seen how many times he's done it, and can he do it again here? He's going to try the overrunner. Justin Pennefather sacrifices his line here, but one of the wrong moves to do it. We've seen David Nash do it twice now under that bridge.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about. This is where you want to try and bait the car in front to go defensive, and not necessarily try and make the move in the same corner, but compromise their line for the next corner. And that's what I think David's trying to do, because he's got to be a little bit smart. He's going to have a go on the brakes here.
He's got to side.
He's gone in deep. He's gone too deep.
David Nash loses out. Tony Gaffer, Troy Allen have got into the mix of this now. David Nash has thrown a podium position away. He was so close. So close, and has gone for a dire move as Simon Vella takes the white flag to start the final lap. But David Nash so close to securing a third podium position, the final step on the podium, and just goes for a dire move, and it doesn't pay out for him.
Oh, is that him? I know there's another riot car around there in the background.
There's another riot car. I believe that's Craig Gurry right there. David Nash still in 4th, and he's got Tony Gaffer all over the back bumper of him. But all eyes on this man, ladies and gentlemen, as he's coming around to check the checkered flag for round 10 at the RSRA Super2 E-Series on your Wednesday night at the Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. He had a poor start. He bogged down. He lost a couple positions, but he's clawed it back with a long pit stint or pit strategy. And Simon Vella is your race winner on Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen. What a race that man has had. 7 seconds abreast over Jamie Davis, and then further 23 seconds back to Justin Pennefather. And what a race it has been. The last 10 laps, ladies and gentlemen, have turned it on. It was a quiet night in the office for Vella and JD. Those two just drove their own race, played it to the strategy, and Vella was able to get that strategy down to a T. But how about that fight, ladies and gentlemen? Dean, that fight for 3rd position in the final 10 laps, you couldn't have asked for a better one.
No, that was really good. That was really well driven by the guys. Yeah, really entertaining stuff. Yeah, again, a great drive by Simon out in front. He's, dare I say, it's getting a little bit of the feeling where it might be a little bit late, but similar to last season where Rayner in split 1 was chasing down Lasseth, and Simon's trying to do exactly the same thing here, where he's just banking on consecutive wins and pole positions, trying to turn that gap down. And he's just driving so well.
And just stop you there as well, Dean. I'll catch you right there on that Rainer, and I'll write that down on my notepad. I'll bring that up very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Big news. If you're a big fan of Rainer Costello from the Super Series, if you watch the Super Series and the Super2 E-Series, you'll know what happened to Rainer Costello. Big news will drop tonight about that young man as well. So stay tuned for the pre-race show, because we'll bring it up after we've done the driver interviews, ladies and gentlemen, and what news it is, and I can't wait to share that with you all. But Simon Vella, what an absolute stellar race, and obviously doesn't have enough fuel to go to his victory burnout, or he just can't be bothered, because he's straight back into pit lane, parks it up on the angle, and look at that, all the pit lane limiter lights flashing ablaze, and that's that'll be one to give you a fit, that's for sure, Dean. But off to the unofficial race results for you, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll bring those up on screens for you very, very shortly. And look at that, Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. Under lights, and what a track it is. And you can see the undulation there. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Champion or unofficial results coming up on your screen momentarily. There we are. And it's we finally tied the straw there, Dean. We finally tied the straw in the top 10, ladies and gentlemen, between Ford and Holden. It's an even mix. It's finally a tie. But it's Ford Mustang 1, 2, 3. Simon Vella, Jamie Davis, Justin Pennefather locking out your podium there. And what a race it was by those guys. Massive drive by David Nash. 25 positions gained after starting from pit lane. Tony Gaffer, absolute stellar race by that man there. I believe that's his highest finishing position. Jonathan Bain fought back to come around his teammate Troy Allen there, and Jonathan Bain, Troy Allen finishing 6th and 7th. Robbie Bradbury in 8th, Jason Schooler in 9th, Peter Kelly in 10th. Robbie Bradbury though in 8th position, securing some much needed points to make up some ground on Jamie Davis. Adam Moore, Scotty Barton, Alex Schuler, Cole Zink, Benny Siren, Stephen Martin, Anthony Visma, Timmy Mulford, Daniel Schultz, Tommy Foster, ladies and gentlemen, and 14 cars finishing on the lead lap. So a lot of mayhem tonight out on track, and a lot of lap drivers. Tommy Foster, Stan Miller, John Nikolaev, Craig Casper, Will Yesberg, Andrew Johnson, Stephen Banks, David Leslie, Craig Gurry, Mark Turner, 21 laps down, and I believe Mark Turner will be our retirement of the race. And another thing to note as well, Dean, before we bring the drivers down into the green room very momentarily, is that we went safety car free tonight. So how about that? That's not a bad little effort by these guys, especially around such a difficult track.
No, right. It is a track that you could get safety cars, potential track blockages, but it's a fast race, and the guys were able to keep it together with only some minor things going on there, and all those drivers were able to get back underway. So, unfortunate night for Mark Turner. Like we were talking about pre-race, you miss those if you have a DNF. It really hurts, and Mark was on for a good championship finish. He was coming on strong, so an untimely DNF from him.
Unfortunately, tonight, that's for sure. His race just went from bad to worse to horrible to one that he wants to forget, and I'm sure he'll be going to debrief with the team later tonight. But we've got the drivers in the commentary booth with us now, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting on standby is Justin Pennefather, JD, Jamie Davis himself, and Simon Vella. And what a race it was between those guys. They really turned on the action in the final 10 laps. And such an amazing race at the Twin Ring Motegi for a night race as well. Extremely difficult to do. And Justin Pennefather, mate, we'll start with you. Congratulations on 3rd position. And, mate, you had to work for it. It didn't come easy.
Yeah, far out. It was not easy at all. Really had to work for that one.
Mate, you had Troy Allen breathing down your neck for majority of the race, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came David Nash after starting from pit lane and threw it up the inside, and luckily enough, mate, didn't take you out.
Yeah, I saw him coming at the last minute, and just thought, well, yeah, good luck with that. If you can pull it off, go for it.
Mate, he almost pulled it off, and unfortunately just locked their ears. And granted you back third position as quick as it got taken away from you. Mate, Twin Ring Motegi night race. How'd you find it?
Yeah, it was really good fun. It's a track that I enjoy. Haven't done it for a while, but always good fun. Whether I haven't played it on iRacing, but on other games, always been
Mate,
good.
throwing a night race into the mix makes it a bit difficult.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just adds an extra element, bit of fun.
Good stuff, mate. Look, stick around. Obviously, more questions to fire away at you from Dean Reddit himself, my co-commentator tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And also, there's sponsor thanks as well. So stick around there, mate. We will come back to you. JD, mate. It all looked to be going well for you. You had the lead of the race, and then just the pace of Simon Vella just ended up catching up with you, and by the looks of it, your tyres just ended up fading away. But nevertheless, congratulations on second position.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I knew the undercut would benefit a little bit, but it'd make me a sitting duck once the pace of Valor was closed right in.
Right, the undercut was massive. It left Dean and myself absolutely gobsmacked at how much time you made up over Vela by Vela just staying at those few extra laps. But you just obviously just couldn't manage those tyres well enough to keep the pace up.
Track like this, it was very demanding on your rear tyres, and just pitting a bit earlier and trying to keep pace with Valor, it didn't help.
Mate, sometimes you get the pace of Vela, sometimes you haven't. It's obviously something you might have to look at going away after this week and practicing on, because they're between Simon Vela and Robbie Bradbury's teammate, they're chasing you down for that championship, mate.
Probably something to work on, but I'm happy the way I'm driving at the moment, so I don't want to change too much and have little mistakes creep in.
Copy that, mate. Well, nevertheless, mate, congratulations on second position. You obviously know the drill. You've been in here for long enough now, joining and talking a little bit of smack with this. So stick around, mate. We'll come back to you for some more stuff. But on to our race winner, ladies and gentlemen. And once we speak to Simon Vella, we'll announce that big news to you as well. Simon Vella, mate, congratulations on yet another race victory. Another one to add to the victory lane stack or pile that you've probably got going there. How'd you go out there tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. The car was really good. Good on its tyres, good on fuel economy. Yeah, it was good.
Mate, you absolutely checked out towards the end of that race there. The pace coming out of your car tonight was unbelievably quick. But just talk us through the start of that race, mate. We saw Mark Turner lit by yourself and Justin Pennefather. What happened?
I was just too conservative on I didn't want to get any wheel spin, and the car just bogged down. So it just went nowhere. And I seen Davey starting to come, and I thought I'm going to cover him because I'm fighting him for the championship. So once got through turn one, it was all single file. I was like, oh, okay, just focus on looking after these tyres, and hopefully we can pick the other two off and see how we go.
You drove an absolute stellar race. Bit of a quiet night for you in the office, though, out the front. And how'd you go around Twin Ring Motegi? Obviously, night race, everything's a lot different. And especially trying to contend with traffic in a night race makes it a little bit more harder.
Well, up until last night, I was really struggling with setup around here. I just didn't have anything that was consistent. I was constantly killing tyres, and then I've managed to get myself a setup that just worked brilliant, and the car was just beautiful after that.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It comes down all about the setup. Mate, nevertheless, you had an absolutely stellar race. Congratulations on yet another victory to you, mate. No burnout tonight either. A little bit low on fuel.
No, heaps of fuel. Just wasn't feeling it tonight, to be honest.
Mate, you've always got to be up for a burn, and that's the best part of the race.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was pulling in the pits, Steve, the team manager, is like, "Oh, you going to do a burnout?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You got to do a burnout." I'm like, "Nah, not tonight.
Yeah, new rule. We just got a word from JP, ladies and gentlemen. New rule coming in. If you don't do a burnout, you get a one-place grid penalty. Nevertheless, mate, congratulations on another victory. You drove absolutely superbly and played the strategy awesome, mate. Dean, I'll let you fire off some questions in just a second, mate. I'll bring up some key notes. 0 incident points for Jonathan Bain, Jason Schooler, Alex Schuler, and Andrew Johnson. So they're the only drivers to cop a 0x tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So 5 points being awarded to them. Obviously, another 5 points being awarded to Simon Valla for pole position. Now, Dean, we'll let you fire off some questions quickly, and we'll get to some big news.
Hey, thanks, Matty. Yeah, congratulations to the guys again on another great night of racing. We thought the battle for the first half of the race was going to come down to the 1 and 2, but the battle for third there at the end was probably some of the best I've seen all season long. And Justin, that must have been huge pressure. Firstly, to try and get past Troy, and then hold off David. You were mentioning there before that you've seen David coming, so you just made the conservative effort there not to turn in on him, and you knew that he was going to essentially run deep in that corner.
Yeah, just from something I've learned in previous experience, when don't try and hang around on the outside, because I'll just take you out.
Yes.
So I just saw him coming, and just that came back into my memory. So just slowed her up, and just was hoping that he'd overrun it.
Yeah,
but like seeing him coming before, I knew I wanted to make the move on Roy, and he definitely made that as hard as possible. But it was good fun.
Yeah, you guys had a great battle, and Troy's not an easy guy to get around. He's got some pace. So, look, I thought it was worth noting, because at that stage of the race, where you're on the white flag lap, and to have that, it can be easy to react to it and try and shut the door, and like you said, get taken out. But I think that's a really good and smart decision to be making at that stage of the race. So well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
Jamie, mate, I was blown away with Simon's strategy. I was caught out, and I actually thought that your undercut was going to work in your favour and get you back there to the front of the race. Was there traffic at play or anything during that stint after you'd pitted your second time, or was Simon just, his pace on the old tyres was there tonight, so he looked very strong? Do you think that was more the reason?
Yeah, no, the Simon having to sit stationary for a lot less time in that second stop, but no traffic. Just Simon's pace was just way too quick, and all credit to him.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. No. Well, you're just doing what you need to do really at this point in the season, and that's maximising your results. So, yeah, another great, fantastic race from you tonight, mate. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, Simon, the overcut, that long strategy, when did you come up with that? Because that you ran, I think, 18, 19 laps both times, and it was obviously a deliberate strategy that you laid out there, that you were going to go long in both stints, when we were all thinking the undercut was going to be the faster way. So how did you come up with that strategy?
The car was really good on its tyres, so that made it good, and especially having the clean air which we had helped again. And I was kept thinking, I pitted a bit early, and I was just worried about getting caught up in traffic. So as long as I had clean air, the car was good, going good. So just thought I'll keep it out, and then that way we throw the new tyres on with the last stint, and the car's quite light, and then it would be quite fast again.
Yeah, we obviously rapid there for that last stint, having such a short stop. But another really, really professionally driven race, mate. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Can I ask, what happened to Turner?
So he
I'll let
had
you take that one, Dean.
Yeah, so I think he got a speeding in pit lane penalty, so stop and hold for 30 seconds, and then he went round there at turn 2 into the fence, so he picked up front end damage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but other than that,
life for him.
yeah, it was. Other than that, you guys might have been in the car when the news dropped, but we're getting a few more Aussie tracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a few more Aussie tracks. That's other big news to announce as well, ladies and gentlemen.
Have they announced which ones?
Yeah, so we'll start that one off as well, ladies and gentlemen. We've got iRacing are bringing in 2 new tracks to the iRacing server. The news has just been leaked, as you would have seen, all over Facebook, and they're finally coming down under, and we're getting a couple famous tracks on board for you on the iRacing platforms, and one of them is a home track just down the road from me, and that is the iRacing circuit of Sandown now. So iRacing is going to be scanning out the Sandown track, and that one is based in Melbourne, Victoria, for those international viewers. And then also Winton Motor Raceway will make its virtual debut as well on the iRacing platform. So another couple iconic tracks going to be added to the iRacing server, and you expect to see a lot more Australian circuit races being brought to you on the RSRA platform as well, ladies and gentlemen. So that's one of the big news as well. And Dean, the second big news of the night, I only found this out at the very, very start of the broadcast. We mentioned it just before as the drivers were coming in on their cooldown lap. Rainer Costello from he was one of the number one drivers in the Super Series. Lost out to Lasses Leonards by 1 point in last season's championship. What a drive by that young man, only 16 years of age, and unfortunately had to pull out of the RSRA Super Series due to a ban on the iRacing server. But with a little bit of haggling and a little bit of emailing backwards and forwards between many, many people of the iRacing server helping out Rainer Costello, they have let him off with a warning and have granted his iRacing subscription back. So he is making a comeback in the Super Series starting next week on Tuesday night. We may as well get that up on screen for you now, ladies and gentlemen, see what's happening further on down the week with the racing platform and get that over and done with now. But Tuesday night from 8:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we'll see Rainer Costello back in the hot seat and contending Dylan Rudd for the championship. Unfortunately, Rainer Costello, though, is well and truly out of the championship due to the points. So he's going to be out there just getting his grips back and keeping up his sharp skills. But Saturday night, join JP and Zach Caban for Weekend Warriors Cup car racing from 7:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. JP, where are you guys heading on Saturday night?
He's not sure.
He's not sure himself, so that makes two of us. That's a long way down the track, so we don't have to worry about that. JB doesn't have to worry about that just yet. He's still got a lot more work to do. Tomorrow being Thursday and Friday, obviously, before he gets even bothers getting into the Saturday night racing for the Weekend Warriors Cup car racing. But join them at 7:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and then come in to see Rainer Costello try and take a win over Dylan Rudd on this in Tuesday night's RSRA Super Series at 8:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and then join myself and Dean Redder on Wednesday night for the RSRA Super2 E-Series, also at 8:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And Zach Cave and Chris Kisby most likely going to be taking you on Tuesday night motorsport as well, ladies and gentlemen. Boys, we'll get into some sponsor thanks very, very quickly, or championship points actually, before we get into some sponsor thanks. I believe JP's got those up and ready for us as well, so we get those up on screen for you very momentarily. And there it is. Jamie Davis is extended his lead a little bit more over Simon Vella, but look at that. Simon Vella is now up in a second position and chasing down JD very, very quickly. If he keeps up the pace that he's got tonight, he might as well do that in the next 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, should I say. Jamie Davis in first position with 1433 points. Simon Vella with 1360. Robbie Bradbury with 1357. Tony Gaffer now sees himself in fourth position, 1292. Adam Moore in fifth, 1289. Kyle Zink, 1274. Stephen Martin, 1267. Jonathan Bain, 1215. Scotty Barton with 1190. And David Nash rounding out your top 10. And Dean, I'm just going to mention, mate, that is driver of the night right there by David Nash. 25 positions gained after starting from pit lane. What an amazing drive by that man there. Mark Turner, Alex Schuler, Justin Pennefather, Daniel Schultz, Benny Sorenstead, Miller, Timmy Mulford, Troy Allen, Bruce Tannick, Nathan Clive. And you can see how many points Bruce Tannick has lost out there, ladies and gentlemen, from missing a race tonight. He was nudging on the door of the top 10. Now sees himself at the bottom of the, or just inside the top 20 there. Stephen Banks, Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson, Hayden Smith, Will Yesberg, Jason Schooler, Brian Good, Brett Peter Kelly, Stephen Lawrence, Anthony Visma rounding out your top 30 there, ladies and gentlemen. And a couple more drivers to go, I believe. There's Blair Van Reed, Craig Casper, Craig Gary, Scotty Short, Gary Crittenden, John Nicolaev, Darren Robb, and David Leslie and Robert Braw. And Robert Braw missing from action tonight, I believe. I didn't actually see too much of him out on track. Actually, he is missing from tonight's service. So Robert Braw, unfortunately, didn't join us tonight. Obviously, an off week for him. Boys, we'll let you get some sponsor thanks out of the way. Start with Justin, mate. You have the floor.
Yeah, just want to first shout out to all the Iridium boys and Adam for the last minute setup tweak. I want to thank Inside Lane Productions, Scorpion Racewear, Sim Blacks, Devon Stove Designs, Rondo Designs, Simshed Broadcasting, Short Shift Sim Racing Magazine, and just thanks to you guys for giving up your time to put this on, and well done to Jamie and Simon on first and second.
JD, mate, you have the floor.
Yeah, huge thanks to AutoServe. It allows us to have wins, high-tech oils, grip clean, and Wolfchester. Huge shout out to my spotter Tyson for the strategy tonight to get me onto the podium. And yeah, thanks to the commentators, JP, Race Control, and all the competitors.
Simon, mate, finish us up with some sponsor thanks, mate. You have the floor.
Thanks to Century Motorsport, Fuchs Oil, Snap-on, KFC, and also congratulations to the boys on the podium.
Well, and hey, don't forget to get your the Zinger box from KFC as well, Simon. Don't forget to mention that one.
Yeah, there's no new specials, so
no new specials this week, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. But geez, seeing that KFC livery drive around on track, that's definitely making me hungry for a Zinger burger, and or should I say a Zinger box with a few wicked wings. That's for sure. And if I make you hungry, I do apologise. You can blame Simon Vella and the Century Motorsport team for that one. I think that sets us up for now tonight, Dean. We'll look into next week's calendar because I'm actually unsure of where we are heading to.
We'll be off to Phillip Island.
Phillip
next week,
Island.
mate.
So we're coming back to another home track of mine down at Phillip Island. It's about I'd say about 55 minutes to an hour just past my place here in Melbourne, Victoria. And we're going to be heading down to Phillip Island for a sprint round, 36 laps. And what a race that's going to be. And then we head off to Bathurst after that one, ladies and gentlemen. So bit of an insight for you to what's coming for the final 2 weeks of the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. And obviously none of this is possible without the sponsors that you see on your screen right there. We'll leave that up, JP, so they can actually see the sponsor logos and what's going on. You've got Nationwide Technology Systems, Goodyear Auto Care, Warana, Racecraft Simulations, DSL Welding Services, Blue Stampede Labour Hire. You've got Devon Stove Design, Dragon RC, and the boys obviously at FU Suicide. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, myself, Matt Davis, I am growing the filthy mullet for Men's Mental Health Month starting on September 1st. So September 1st is the start date, and at the end of September, I will be shaving that off, and we should be well and truly into the third and final season for the year. And maybe we'll be able to get a dirty mugshot of a before and after pop up on screen to see how much the mullet has actually grown. From start to finish and shaved it all off. Also, Simshed Broadcasting, Track Cams for Gourmet, and SDK Gaming for all the overlays that you're seeing on your screen. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to see us out. It's 10:05 on your Wednesday night motorsport for the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. Joining me in the booth tonight is Dean Reddit, my co-commentator, Justin Pennefather, Jamie Davis, Simon Vella, our podium for the night. Driver of the night goes to David Nash in my books. 25 positions gained. Unbelievable drive by that man. I still can't fathom how he's managed to do that. But other biggest moves as well. Jonathan Bain up 9 positions. Alex Schuler up 10 positions as well from where he started. So a couple big movers in the field tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But that's it from me. Stay tuned on the Simshed Broadcasting Network for the Saturday night motorsport. And then join us back here Tuesday night for the Super Series and Wednesday night for the Super 2 E-Series. I'm Matt Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Good night.